Good morning, this is Jimmy Skogard, and this is Grassroots Rising. I'm here today with Big Al at the Eagles Club, and we're going to talk about the issues and solve the problems of the world. What do you say, Big Al?
Well, obviously there's some problems.
Wait.
If you had to pick one, what do you think? What do you think would be the biggest problem that you see
In the state?
Yeah, in the state that we could take on?
Well, it's a problem in the sense that people spend a lot of money doing this gambling issue.
Oh, the gambling. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and I use the word gambling. It is what it is. But
How many cards you got?
It's kind of a pastime, isn't it?
well, yes.
And to say that do we want gambling in Wyoming? I got that from one of our House reps. House Rep Jamie Lane says, "Do we have to decide whether we want gambling in Wyoming?"
Well, is this a lady?
She's a lady. Yeah, she represents
She obviously has been blinded.
blinded by something. Right?
I go get coffee. There's neon lights in the windows. You
At
know,
the coffee shop?
Lotto stuff. Yeah,
the lotto. Huh?
yeah.
You know, I looked into this, Big Al, and I noticed that it went from about 90 million in 2021 to 190 million in 2024. That's the amount of money that these one-armed bandit things are taking out of the state of Wyoming. Now, do you think that we have gambling in Wyoming?
Most definitely.
Yeah, I went to the commission meeting the other day on Wednesday, and you know who showed up there? Bally's and Harrah's and a bunch of Las Vegas names were on the list to talk to the gambling commission.
I know one business right now that have these non-gambling machines in his business, and it was Binions out of Vegas.
Binions?
Came in and put these machines in.
So do you suppose that how much of that 190 million is staying here in Wyoming?
Zero.
Well, actually, the state gets to keep 1%.
Oh, 1%.
So yeah, about $20 million a year. So we collect 20 million, and Binions and friends take 170 million. Does that sound fair?
Not at all. It just baffles me.
It baffles me too.
Well, earlier you could run a bunch of horses across the screen on the machine, and it's legal because you're horse racing.
Yeah.
Bull crumbs.
It's kind of strange. Would you support legislation that says instead of 1%, we take half and keep half of it here in Wyoming and give it to the cities and counties, maybe even the state? Hey, we could give it to the treasurer, to Kurt Meyer, the treasurer, and if he had an extra $85 million to invest, do you think he might be able to do something with it?
Oh, most definitely. One of the areas is right now, they're closing 2 more schools at the end of this school year, and they need some funding. So these kids are getting to jam into classes that are bigger than what is projected it should have.
So that we're forcing our teachers to take care of more kids in their classroom. We're increasing their class size, but we're paying them more. We're paying them more this year.
Okay.
They did get a raise finally, but they got this silo type thing where the state thinks that they should control the funds for schools rather than the schools taking care of their own, directing their own selves. Do you think that that's a wise idea to have legislatures controlling that, or do you think maybe we should have our educators put that back in the control of the educators?
I personally think the educators ought to be back in control
Of the money, right?
Yeah, they know what's going on in their buildings. Legislators, I don't know what they know.
Well, evidently they know that they have control.
Yes.
And I guess that brings me to another point. I've lately deemed that we've got a bunch of folks that want to control us, control you and me, and who do those legislators work for, Big Al?
Supposed to be for the people.
For you and me. They're supposed to be working for you and me.
That's exactly correct.
And do you know how many bills they introduced in the 2025 and 2026 session to control who can vote?
No.
They did 38 pieces of legislation in 2025 and 2026 between the two houses to restrict or control how we vote in Wyoming. Does that make any sense? If
It
we,
makes no sense at all, and it doesn't surprise me one bit. Not one
you know,
bit.
it just reinforces my idea that this is not the Freedom Caucus. This is the Control Caucus.
Yes,
Big Al.
most definitely.
This is the big.
And you move up to the bigger boys up above. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Well, do you think that maybe somebody out of Washington D.C. is sending down some messages to to our Control Caucus here in Wyoming and telling them what type of legislation they should be implementing?
It makes you tend to believe that might be happening.
Yeah, it makes me wonder where they're getting all this. Why do we need 38 different pieces of legislation over 2 years to restrict how we register to vote, how we vote? What you know, there was even one that said we couldn't use the counting machines. A machine, Big Al. You know, if you're out in your yard, they're like trying to. Somebody's just saying to you can't use a machine to cut your grass.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we've used machines forever, and now we want to cast some doubt on whether or not the machines work.
Well, that brings up, the deal with the ID thing. What is the big problem? What is the problem with showing your ID? You have to do it for all kinds of things. You know what the big problem is? Because the Democrats can cheat. And that's just coming from me, and that's why they're fighting it so hard.
But why are we showing our? We've always shown our ID here in Wyoming.
Always.
So do we have a problem with that in Wyoming? Do you think?
I don't think so, because it happens here.
So why would our delegation in Washington want us to invite the Department of Justice into our elections here in Wyoming?
I don't want to do that. No.
But that's exactly what
Sure.
we're proposing to do. We're proposing that we allow the federal government to reach into our local elections in Wyoming.
Yes.
And you know what? The Republicans might not be in control of those elections forever.
That's absolutely correct.
And so we invite the federal government. Do you think they're ever going to stop reaching into our elections once we invite them in? No, that's a 10th Amendment issue, and I believe that's federal overreach.
Yeah.
And we should just say no to that kind of nonsense.
Well, I agree entirely, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, I think we've at least talked about some of the problems that face in this, and there's a pile of them out there. I think the people need to step up and take the power back.
That's an old saying when I get on there and talk to people on Facebook. And I say, folks, open your eyes and see what's happening.
Yeah.
And you're opening your eyes. I don't know if you are, but you're not seeing what's happening.
Yeah, we're under threat right now. This state is under threat. Our way of life is under threat. You know, Al and I have been there around a while. I've never seen it this bad. Never.
No, it's scary. It's scary.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Al. We may not have solved the problems, but we at least got them aired out a little bit.
Well, hopefully the people that need to hear this will hear it.
Thanks.
And do something.
All right. Well,
all right.
Well, thanks for talking today, and hey, folks, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.